Hey beautiful world, my name is Shana Rose Crawford and welcome back to the journey. Today I wanted to speak to you about bettering yourself. It's the aim of most people who want to be successful or want to be happy to better themselves. They know that there's something not quite perfect about themselves, or they're not quite happy with how they are, and so they want to better themselves in order to get to a different place in their life. But what does bettering yourself even mean? How do you start? Like, I know that for me, bettering yourself can mean one thing, and then for someone else it can mean another thing. So I just wanted to share with you what I believe bettering yourself is and how you can do it. Firstly, to better yourself, you have to follow the 3 pillars of body, mind and spirit. Not everybody will believe that, not everybody will agree with me, but again, like I say, this is just my opinion. These are just things that I've come up with off the top of my head from experiences of my own, or what I think of it myself, or things that I've researched. So this is just my opinion, okay? But let's start with the body. So firstly, obviously, you're going to want to work on how your body looks. You're going to want to exercise more, get into an exercise routine. A healthy adult or teenager, whoever you are, a healthy person will be a lot better in their lives if they have a regular exercise routine, because it will help not only their body but their mind and their spirit too. Also, you need to obviously work on your diet. You need to have a healthy, balanced diet. Not be somebody who only eats a few bits and bobs and only eats vegetables. Like, that's not a way to live. Don't do these crazy diet fads. Like, seriously guys, it's not healthy, a lot of them. Instead, work out who you are, how your body should work, what you need to take in, and make sure you do it. It's as simple as that. If you don't have a sense of style, like you don't know what you like to wear or how you like to carry yourself, then you're not going to have much confidence. When you see somebody in the street wearing a wacky outfit but they look like they're really confident about it, that's because they are unique and they love their sense of style. They know who they are, they know what they like, and they're wearing it no matter what. And when you can do that, you're winning. Like, trust me, you're winning. I don't have a really solid sense of style yet. I kind of just buy items that I randomly think look good, but then when I get them home I'm like, how do I put this with another outfit? Like, that is quite hard, but I am working on my style in order to better myself, and you should too. The next one is to do more. A lot of people who are depressed have troubles in their lives because they're probably not doing it enough, or what they are doing isn't making them happy. Obviously, that's not the case for everybody. There's loads of different reasons why people get depressed. There's loads of different reasons why I got depressed. But I would say that people who would seem like their lives are perfect, or they should be happy, they shouldn't have depression, those people who do get depressed, it's probably because they're not doing enough, or they're not challenging themselves anymore. They probably have a good job, they have a husband, they have a child, they have a nice house, and everything just seems easy all of a sudden. But the people need to be challenged a lot and often. We need to be progressing. Progression equals happiness. So do more with your body, with your mind, with your spirit, with your day, with your week, with your year. Do more. Don't overwhelm yourself, but do more, and I swear you'll feel more fulfilled and like a better sense of self. Lastly is to just have a hobby, which works in with do more. Have a hobby, have something that you do that's outside of work, outside of love, your love life, outside of your relationships with your friends and with your children, your family, whatever. Have something that's aside from all of that, and then that will be your thing that you do in order to better yourself, because your life will be a lot more well balanced, because you've got so many different pillars going on with it. Okay, so now let's move on to the mind. Now this one's more complex. Obviously the body is very complex too. I mean, I'm learning that through studying yoga and starting to do it, but the mind is so complex because you can't see if it's changing, and sometimes we don't realise that it can be weak and we don't realise when it's strong. It's a very complicated thing to try and overcome, but if you want to better yourself, you have to better your mind, because the mind will strengthen everything else, in my opinion. The mind is literally, like, if you think of the brain, it governs everything else. It tells you to walk, it makes your body move, you know. So if your mind is strong, if you work on your mind and understand your mind, then you're going to be able to do anything, like literally. Maybe you get superpowers. Anyway, first one to bettering your mind in terms of bettering yourself is to accept yourself, the sense of self that you have. A lot of people, I reckon, don't know who they are. They can say that, oh, I'm a writer, but they don't know who they are. Like, really, they don't know who they are. They don't know why they do what they do. They don't know why they think what they think. They don't know why they want to dream their dreams. They don't know who they are, and that is a really unhealthy way to live, because if you don't know who you are, then how's anyone else meant to know who you are, and how are you supposed to know what you want? So I think firstly you need to accept who you are, and then know who you are in order to better your mind. So for me, say I've ran from the ideals of anxiety for a lot of the time, or I don't like the fact that I have frizzy hair because I'm mixed race, or I'm a bad liar. Like those things, like for some reason I didn't like them. I didn't like them at all. I don't like being called nice. I don't like being called cute. It makes me feel like I'm, this little thing in the corner. But it doesn't matter. There's worse things in this world to be than nice and cute. And frizzy hair, so what? That's shallow of me to be thinking that I'm reduced by the fact that I have frizzy hair. So firstly, you need to accept yourself in all of its entirety, in the negatives and the positives. Know yourself, accept yourself. If there are things that you don't like about yourself, then fine, that's totally normal. Work on them. Change the things that can be changed and accept the things that can't be. Next, you need to work on your relationship with others. If you have poor relationships with other people, then your mind is going to be constantly in a fight with itself in a way, because it's going to feel misunderstood. And if you feel misunderstood all the time, that can have a really negative effect on your confidence and your self-esteem and generally how you act in the world. But if you have good relationships with people, then you're going to have a lot more confidence with who you are and what you do. You're going to be like, yes, I'm going to go out here and do this, and I'm going to meet my friends and then go out with my boyfriend and whatever. You're just going to feel a real strong sense of self, a real strong love for yourself, which is so important. So seek out people that will make you feel good, who are like-minded, who will challenge you as well, who are on the same path as you, like, have big dreams if you have big dreams, who want to do this if you want to do that. Like, find those people and they'll help feed who you are and strengthen your mind. The next one is intellect. I mean, obviously you need to be intelligent. I'm not saying that you need to be a genius. Like, I'm not saying go aim to be Stephen Hawking. Like, that's impossible. But instead, you should always be working on your intelligence. Education does not stop after school. It does not stop after college. It does not stop after university. It does not stop after your masters. Whatever you're doing, you should always be educating yourself. That doesn't mean necessarily going to a class. If you want to, great. That's a great way to meet people as well. But if you want to have a strong mind, if you want to better yourself, you're going to need to educate your mind and keep it being challenged and learning new things, taking in new information. I think that you should do like online courses. They're really, really good. It's an easy way, like an hour at the end of the day, or half an hour, or even 10 minutes can be really, really beneficial to your mind. And of course, reading. Just read anything. Even if you read some crappy little book, it doesn't matter. You're still getting information and learning something new about something else from another side of the world or whatever, and it keeps your mind healthy, it keeps it fit. And that's what you need. Just like with going to the gym for your body, you need to keep your mind healthy with books. A mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone. Game of Thrones. The next one is to have challenges and goals. So like I said before, progression equals happiness. But if you're not progressing, if you're not challenging yourself, then you're not going to feel happy and you're going to feel like you're not good enough. And so instead, you need to challenge yourself. Even if you fall short, it doesn't matter. It's good. Pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and find a new way to succeed. Challenge yourself. Set goals. I want to do this. I want to be this. I want to go here. I want to go there. And then do those things, and you'll feel this great satisfaction, this great fulfillment that will really, really better who you are and how confident you are in who you are as well. Last one is to develop a perspective or view of the world and yourself. This one is a harder one to do, but I think that if you can do this one, then you'll be laughing. Like, you'll always be able to better yourself, because you'll be able to look at the world through a lens that is not focused on one thing. Instead, it can take in so much, and your scope will be just wider. Like, if you can do that, and you can do those things through like travel and that, if you can do those, if you can develop a sense of perspective over the world, you know what your views and your opinions are, and you have a perspective of yourself, then your mind will be open up to this great new wealth of open-mindedness that will it will set you free. And I think that it'll lead to my next point, which is spirit. You need to think about your spirit, which is your soul, in order to do any of the other things that I've mentioned. Like, people don't really believe that the soul is a thing. A lot of people don't, but I definitely feel that it is there. And because there's just things in this world that can't be explained by matters of the body and like reality and matters of the mind. Instead, it comes from a deeper place, and I think that is the soul. In order to feed the soul, you need to know what your passions and your dreams are, and then you need to follow them. I think a lot of people are unhappy in their lives because they're just paying the bills, or just working a job that they don't want to work, or being with somebody that they don't want to be with, and therefore their soul is sad, it's grey, it's crying out to them, and they just won't hear it. But instead, if you're following your passions and doing things every day that you love and you want to be doing, then your soul will be happy. And when your soul is happy, your sense of self is it's great, it's unhinged, it's just set free. And that's what you need, that's what you want in order to be a better version of yourself. Next, you need to know what you want and know what you like. I think it's so amazing to be able to answer the question, oh, what music do you like, or what films do you like, rather than going, if you know what you like and what you want, then you are a strong person, you are a confident person. I'm not saying you shouldn't try other things, of course you should, but instead, when you want something and you like something and you know what they are, then you have a set standard, and when people or things don't meet that standard, you won't accept it. And that's great, that's a good way to live. And I'm not saying that people should be high maintenance and have high standards, but instead they should know what their standards are. Spirituality is the next one. Of course, you need to connect your spirit with the world and with yourself. Things like yoga and meditation really work for this, of course, because they connect you with all of those things. Spirituality isn't religion, don't get it confused. Religion is like a practice, it's teachings, but whereas spirituality can be anything that you want it to be. You can connect to the world and to yourself in any way that you want to do it. Like, there's no set way to do that. I always imagine that in Avatar: The Last Airbender, I don't know if you watch it, but when he's sitting on an island, he's meditating, and you see like this blue energy connecting from his mind to his soul to his body, and then it radiates like through the roots of the island, and it connects all of the things on the island. And that's a really beautiful visual for me, and I always think about it when I meditate, because I really want to connect what I think, how I feel, and how I fit into the world. And that's a really great way for anybody to better themselves, because they'll understand where they are and who they are in the world. So if you can develop a sense of spirituality, then you'll be developing a better you. Do good in the world. I do these things to help people. Like, not a lot of people would watch my videos, but it doesn't matter. Like, I like doing it and it feels good, and that's a great feeling that you should aspire towards too. Whatever way you can, you should do good in the world. Put out what you want. Do the good that you want to see in the world. Recognise and acknowledge your emotions. A lot of people don't know what their emotions are. They think that it's just happiness and sadness. It's not. There's such a wealth of emotions. Go see my article on my website. It's linked in the description. But emotions are so much more than that. And when you can recognise how you're feeling and why, then you can better control your emotions, for one, and better understand why you think and do what you do. And in order to do that, then you're going to be a better self, of course. You're going to know why you're doing what you're doing, and therefore control doing what you're doing. Does that make sense? Rather than being controlled by emotions that you didn't even know you had. Last ones are travel and inspire. So like I said in my other videos, I've been travelling a lot more last year, and once I've done that, like, I have stories to tell now. Like, I can't shut up like, oh, when I was in Budapest, oh, when I was in Italy, and it feels so good to have those stories. I think that before there was always this horrible feeling that I didn't have stories to tell, that my life wasn't good enough to speak about. But once you travel, you have stories straight away. You have stories to tell, and that's such an amazing feeling. And you should share those stories in order to inspire other people, and you should listen to other people's stories in order to be inspired. So these are the ways that bettering yourself, like, this is how I've defined bettering yourself. If you work on your mind, body and spirit in the ways listed in this video, then you will be able to develop a really strong sense of self, a really better self, and get on with things. In the next video, I'll do a few little tips and tricks on how to actually do the things in this video, how to actually achieve the better self. But that's, again, just my perspective, and you should do more research if you can on how to do it personally for you. But I hope that I've helped. Seek more, guys. If you really want a change, if you really want to be better, then you've got to strive for it. You've got to work hard. The reason why people don't change is because they just don't want it enough. Simple. They say that they do, but they don't. Because if you wanted it, you would make it happen. But their lives just aren't bad enough yet. They're like, oh, it's okay, I failed, but so what? I've still got a job, I've still got a boyfriend. No, if you want to be that good, better self, then you need to work on it, and you've got to want that change. So, want the change, seek the change, and seek peace, guys. Bye.